The battles of Bergisel were 4 battles fought between the forces of Emperor Napoleon I of France and the Kingdom of Bavaria against Tyrolese militiamen and a contingent of Austrian regular soldiers at the Bergisel hill near Innsbruck. The battles, which occurred on the 25th of May, the 29th of May 13 August, and the 1st of November 1809, were part of the Tyrolean Rebellion and the War of the Fifth Coalition. The Tyrolean forces, loyal to Austria, were led by Andreas Hofer, Joseph Speckbacher, Peter Meyer, Capuchin Father Joachim Hauspinger, and Major Martin Teimer. The Bavarians were led by French Marshal François-Joseph Lefebvre, and Bavarian generals Bernhard Erasmus von Deroy and Karl Philipp von Ried. After being driven from Innsbruck at the start of the revolt, the Bavarians twice reoccupied the city and were chased out again. After the final battle in November, the rebellion was suppressed. Background: after his humiliating defeat of the Austrian Empire in the War of the Third Coalition, Napoleon transferred the county of Tyrol to Bavaria. When the new rulers imposed conscription and Bavarian legal codes on the territory, they flouted ancient Tyrolean social and religious rights. Before the outbreak of the War of the Fifth Coalition, Austrian agents circulated the Tyrol to take advantage of the existing tensions. When Archduke Charles, Duke of Teschen, invaded Bavaria on 10 April 1809, the Tyrol exploded in revolt. Battles: the Tyrol 1809 Order of Battle lists the regular units and organizations of both armies. First Battle of Bergisel on the 11th of April. Hofer and 5,000 armed peasants scored a victory at Sterzing in the South Tyrol when they captured 420 Bavarians of the 4th Light Infantry Battalion. Under Teimer and other leaders, the Tyroleans irregulars won a brilliant initial success. Attacked incessantly for 48 hours, Lieutenant General Baron Kinkel surrendered his Innsbruck garrison of 3,860 Bavarian soldiers on 13 April. A body of 2,050 French conscripts under hard-drinking General of Division Baptiste Pierre Bisson unwittingly marched into the trap. After an ineffectual defense, the French also put up the white flag. The rebels seized 5 cannon, 2 mortars, considerable equipment, and many muskets. The captured material would keep the rebellion supplied with weapons for months. May 1809, soon reinforced by a regular Austrian division under Feldmarschall Lieutenant Johann Gabriel Chastelard de Courcelles. The Tyrolese posed a threat to the rear areas of Napoleon's armies in northern Italy and Bavaria. One column of irregulars, stiffened by a few regulars under General Major Franz Fenner, raided the area of Lake Garda in Italy. In consequence, Viceroy of Italy Eugene de Beauharnais was forced to provide substantial Franco-Italian garrisons to guard the area. In early May, Napoleon directed Marshal François-Joseph Lefebvre and the 7th Corps to move against the Tyrol. The Bavarian garrison of Kufstein Fortress was relieved on the 11th of May. Lefebvre routed Chastelard at the Battle of Wergel on the 13th of May. After several more actions, Lefebvre occupied Innsbruck around the 19th of May. Second Battle of Bergisel on the 25th of May 1809, Lieutenant General Deroy's 3rd Bavarian Division clashed with the Tyrolese rebels at the Bergisel. Deroy committed 4,000 troops and 12 artillery pieces to the combat. Hofer commanded the rebel army and his lieutenants were Speckbacher, Teimer, Joseph Eisenstein, and Oberstleutnant Hertel. Hofer's army included 9,400 armed rebels and 900 Austrian regulars. The regulars included 1 battalion each of the 16th Lusignan Infantry Regiment and 45th de Varks Infantry Regiment. 2 companies of the 9th Jaeger Battalion, a half-squadron of the 3rd O'Reilly Chevauleger Regiment and 5 guns. The Bavarians lost 20 to 70 dead and 100 to 150 wounded, while inflicting losses of 50 dead and 30 wounded on the Tyrolese. Though historian Digby Smith labels the action a Bavarian victory, his narrative says the battle was a draw. He notes that the rebels, discouraged that more local people had not joined the revolt, retreated to the south. The rebels returned on 29 May, and subjected de Roy to a second attack, which he resisted with 5,240 troops organized in 12 battalions, 8 squadrons, and 18 guns. The 13,600 Tyrolese irregulars were joined by 1,200 Austrian regulars and 6 pieces of artillery. The rebels included 35 North Tyrol and 61 South Tyrol Schutzin and Landsturm companies. The Bavarians managed to hold their ground after suffering 87 dead, 156 wounded, and 53 missing. The rebels lost 90 dead and 160 wounded. The next day, low on ammunition and food, de Roy evacuated Innsbruck and retreated to Kufstein Fortress in the north. July and early August 1809. After Napoleon's war-winning victory at the Battle of Wagram on 5 and 6 July, Lefebvre invaded the Tyrol again and de Roy won a minor action at the Lugue Pass on 24 July. However, the Tyrol responded to Hofer's call for another uprising. About 5,000 Tyrolese led by Haspinger and Speckbacher smashed French General Marie-François Roy's 3,600 Confederation of the Rhine troops at Franzensfeste on 4 and 5 August. The Ducal Saxon Infantry Regiment was annihilated with 988 casualties, while the Bavarians lost an additional 100 men and 2 cannons. Tyrolean losses were trifling. The valley is still known as the Sachsen-Clemmer. The next day, Lefebvre arrived with the 1st Bavarian Division, but he was also repulsed by the Tyrolese. On 8 and 9 August at Prutz, 920 Tyrolese led by Roman Berger routed Oberst Burscheid's 2,000 soldiers of the 10th Bavarian Infantry and 2nd Dragoon Regiments, which belonged to de Roy's 3rd Division. The Tyrolese inflicted 200 killed and wounded on their enemies while capturing 1,200 men and 2 cannons. Rebel losses were only 7 killed. Third Battle of Bergisel on 13 August, Hofer and 18,000 Tyrolese fought de Roy's division in the Third Battle of Bergisel. 4 Bavarian battalions belonging to General Seebane's 2nd Brigade lost 200 dead and 250 wounded. The 70 companies of rebels lost 100 dead and 220 wounded. Speckbacher and 2,000 irregulars attacked the Bavarian garrisons in the villages of Lofer, Luftenstein, Unken, and Melech on 25 September. Of the 700 soldiers belonging to the Liebe Infantry Regiment No. 1, 50 were killed and wounded, 300 captured, and 100 missing. The troops were dispersed with only 2 companies in each village. The detachment in Melech broke out and retreated north to Bad Reichenhall. The other garrisons were wiped out. On the same day, Haspinger with 2,400 Tyrolese and 4 guns evicted General Major Stengel's brigade from the Lugue Pass near Golling and Ersalzach. The 3,500 Bavarians and 3 cannons retreated north to Salzburg. Lefebvre, with 2,000 of Stengel's troops, attacked Hallein on 3 October. Haspinger's force, which had lingered in the town, was chased back into the mountains, leaving their 6 cannons behind. At this time, Jean-Baptiste Drouet, Comte d'Erlon, replaced Lefebvre in command of 7th Corps, and the 3rd invasion of the Tyrol was launched. On 17 October, the 1st Bavarian Division, led by General Major Reichberg, caught Speckbacher and his 2,000 men by surprise at Bodenbühl. The Tyrolese failed to properly picket their camp, and the 3,000 Bavarians inflicted a serious defeat on the irregulars. Rebel losses were 300 dead and 400 captured, while the Bavarians admitted only 7 casualties. For this action, Reichberg was awarded the Military Order of Max Joseph from his grateful sovereign. 4th Battle of Bergisel. The 4th Battle of Bergisel took place on 1 November 1809. Lieutenant General Red's 2nd Bavarian Division defeated Hofer's and Haspinger's 70 companies of irregulars. The Bavarians committed 6,000 troops and 12 guns to the action and lost only 1 killed and 40 wounded. The 8,535 Tyrolese suffered 350 killed, wounded, and captured, and abandoned 5 cannons. The Fourth Battle and the disaster at Bougainville broke the back of the rebellion. Hofer was betrayed to the French on 20 January 1810 and was shot on 20 February 1810 at Mantua in Italy. Bibliography. Arnold, James R. Crisis on the Danube. New York. Paragon House, 1990. ISBN 1-55778-137-0. Arnold, James R. Napoleon Conquers Austria. Westport, Con. Prager Publishers, 1995. ISBN 0-275-94694-0. Petra, Lorraine. Napoleon and the Archduke Charles. New York. Hippocrene Books, 1976. Smith, Digby. The Napoleonic Wars Data Book. London. Greenhill, 1998. ISBN 1-85367-276-9. German Wikipedia. Bernhard Erasmus von Deroy.